Yo, what's going on? It's your man, Tony B, a.k.a. everybody's favorite villain, a.k.a. the Birdman, the Eagles fan. And this is the Bald Eagle. Welcome, everybody. I want to appreciate everybody that, is going to be watching this or, even listening to it, like if you're driving or whatever. I appreciate all the love. This is just something for fun. A lot of y'all that's been on my Facebook would know that I did this like 2 or 3 years ago, just Facebook Live. My poor ex-girlfriend, I just had her hold the phone and just let her go, man. Anyway. So we gonna get right to it. I want to welcome you to the Bird Nest. As you can see, me and my guys back here. I don't go nowhere without backup. Y'all know that. But anyway, we gonna get right to it. A lot of people have been asking me questions about the Eagles. We gonna cover that, but this is not just an Eagles show. I'm gonna just let y'all know that. This is a show where basically I talk about the whole week of the NFL. Like, there's nothing biased here. So yeah, I may say something bad about your team, but I'm definitely gonna say something bad about my own team, which leads me to the first point. The Philadelphia Eagles, since so many people are asking me after 1 week about the Philadelphia Eagles, hold on, I gotta turn my hat around, because sugar, it's about to get real nasty in here. Philadelphia Eagles. Disappointing, to say the least. Excuse my language, but not really, because they was ass. They was pure ass crack. No doubt about it. Sure. We had a few injuries. What else is new with the Eagles? In particular on the offensive line, as you see, or as you've seen Sunday. My thing is, with the Eagles, man, even with all those injuries out, you were still up 17-0. There's really no excuses for how you guys played. We was missing 6-7 starters. Miles Sanders was out, starting running back with a lot of promise. Alshon was out. What else is new? The rookie Jeff Driscoll did step in, and he played pretty good. The problem was he was the backup, and then he got hurt. Early in the game, I saw them throwing a lot off 3-step drops, getting the ball out quick. That was the best way to beat that team. But then all of a sudden, for some reason, you get a lead, and because of the injury of running back, you're still throwing quite a bit, which is okay. But you have to make adjustments in the NFL. And the adjustment that they made was wrong, because all of a sudden 3-step drops went to 5-step drops and 7-step drops. And let's be for real, Wentz is back there holding the ball like he's doing somebody's taxes or something. And these guys are coming. They knew that was a whole strength of the team since the schedule came out. Like, you act like this is a new opponent. Yeah, they may not have a name, but they still been in your division for about 60 years. And you knew the strength of that team, especially with the addition of Chase Young, who is just as an Eagles fan and a Michigan fan, because he's from Ohio State. I hate to say this, but he's a fully grown man out there, man. That boy is grown as hell out there, bro. He's a monster. So anyway, you start throwing 5-step drops, 7-step drops like that's possible. Play action fake like that's fooling somebody when you haven't ran the ball the entire damn game. And this is the result. You have a quarterback that has a history of holding the ball. Wentz is my guy. I'm always ride for Wentz, but that's just the truth. He has a history of holding the ball too long, which in turn creates fumbles, which in turn creates turnovers. You had this game in control, and you decided to stare down receivers and throw out routes. Who does that? I mean, I can still hear my dad yelling at his youth league quarterback for doing that. I mean, come on, man. You're better than that, Carson. The good thing is Carson does have a history of bouncing back from bad games, so we'll see. But the main person I wanted to talk about that was hurt, that really affects the Eagles, obviously, and I'm going to give you the numbers on that, is Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson he's the anchor of that offensive line and has been for quite some time. With Lane Johnson, the Eagles' record is 36-17. Without Lane Johnson, it's 6-12. Numbers don't lie. The Eagles are also 0-4 when Wentz has 3 or more turnovers. Obviously, at the quarterback position, if you turn the ball over like that, your chances are very slim of winning. I don't care who you're playing, name, no name, it doesn't matter. You're going to lose. They started off so good. The Eagles' average drive in yards, their first 4 drives, they averaged 53 yards a drive. The last 10, 8.4. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out that you need 10 yards to get a first down. I'm not saying they didn't get a first down after their first 4 drives, but they would get one and then make stupid mistakes like run 10 yards back and get your team out of field goal position when you're throwing the ball, when you simply could have just threw the ball away. There's no harm in throwing the ball away, Carson. Trust me. It'll save you a lot of grief in Philly. Trust me. Okay. So now that I've addressed how trash the Eagles were last week, let's get to the other teams. There's a few other people that was disappointing this week. Actually, it wasn't just about the Eagles. Over here it may have been, but we got a whole nother, there's 31 other teams in the league. So some more disappointing stats. I was real surprised about this. I mean, obviously, ended up being hurt and he'll be out for several weeks, is Michael Thomas for the Saints. 3 receptions for 17 yards, and on top of that, getting hurt. Odell Beckham, 3 receptions for 22 yards. Rob Gronkowski coming back, he was so good when he played, so good. You would almost think that after a year off, fresh, of course, Gronk is Gronk. I'm sure he's partying, doing whatever he's got to do, but he's still an athlete. And when he announced he was coming back, I figured he'd be fresh. Of course, it's week 1. It's week 1. There's always so many overreactions in week 1. But 2 receptions for 11 yards. And last but not least, Saquon Barkley. 15 rushes, 6 yards. 6 yards. And I didn't even want to take a division rival in fantasy, but I chanced it on Saquon. And like I said, it's just week 1. But this is what you give me? I mean, people give me grief about what Wentz did with the points and stuff. I get it, but at least you got a couple touchdowns. At least it balanced itself out. I mean, this guy, he didn't get a touchdown. I mean, he did nothing for me. Nothing for me. I was real impressed with Darius Slay. He only allowed 2 catches for 26 yards. He was probably the only bright spot. The defense didn't do too bad with the Eagles. But, L's and L, as they say. I'll also be doing a stat that's just mind-blowing and weird and crazy every week. I do some research, and there's some, just some outlandish stat that, no one would believe, honestly. But the first one this week is Mike Evans. Mike Evans, solid receiver down there in Tampa Bay. Big body, go up and get the ball at its highest point. Hell of a receiver, man. He has not caught a pass on Lattimore for the Saints, Marshawn Lattimore, since 2018. Now, a lot of you already know in football, there's divisions. These teams play twice a year. Marshawn Lattimore, your best cornerback, matches up on Mike Evans, their best receiver. I know they got Godwin. He's a good player. He's a hell of a player, but Mike Evans is their number one, I would say, still. And that's just incredible. Also, most winning seasons in the last 50 years. I actually saw this online, and I looked, and I was like, man, this is weird, but you wouldn't believe some of these teams on this list. The Steelers are number 1 at 36. The Patriots are number 2 at 34. The Eagles, which, I mean, I'm an Eagles fan, and I was kind of surprised about this, are 3rd with 33. The Vikings are 4th with 31, and the Dolphins, yes, the Dolphins are 5th with 30. Considering they haven't had a winning season in quite some time, that was like the weirdest one. And everybody on there has a Super Bowl except for the Vikings. So, purple people eaters, too bad, so sad. Don't care. Moving on. The scores from this last week, like I said, there's just tons of overreactions. Obviously, I'm an Eagles fan, so I like a lot of Eagles Facebook pages, and it was just, man, something that the players shouldn't look at, that's for sure. It was horrible. You got people, Mitch Trubisky, he played solid in the fourth quarter. I will say that. If you look up the stats, Mitch Trubisky is actually very successful against the Detroit Lions. He has 3+ touchdown passes against the Lions in the past 4 games that they played. Also, they're in the same division. They play twice. So I know a lot of you know that, but, just in case some of you don't, whatever. Yeah, but he's awful successful against Detroit, which, y'all know where I be at, in the garage. Things go on over there. We watch football and stuff, and we be kicking it. And my dad's a Lions fan, and there's some couple Bears fans that come over there. I've watched those games, I think all of those games, honestly, and I didn't even know that stat. So, apparently Mitch Trubisky is good against the Lions, but dumpster juice against everyone else. I don't know. Steelers took down the Giants 26-16. Titans beat the Broncos 16-14, which I was surprised because I don't know what was wrong with the New England players on Sunday and Monday, but Tom Brady didn't fare too good. Gronk obviously didn't fare too good, and Gostkowski, the kicker that they had, he used to be money up there in New England, rain, sleet, or snow. Man, this dude goes to Denver and shanks 4 field goals. I had zero faith in him to hit that last field goal, but he got it, and the W's a W, so Titans took them down. Obviously, the first game of the year, Chiefs 34-20 over the Texans. That's not really surprising, man. The Chiefs are just a well-oiled machine. Big ups to my boy Andy Reid. Seahawks took down the Falcons 38-25. Russell Wilson had a monster game, like a video game. Like he was just, I think he was 31-35 or something like that. That's just ridiculous numbers. The Browns got their ass kicked by the Ravens. Nothing really to talk about here other than that Lamar Jackson is in regular form. And, I fully expect him to be in the MVP race this year again. He might even win it again. I mean, that could be a week one overreaction about what I was talking about, but that's a bad boy right there. Bills took down the Jets 27-17. The Raiders go down to North Carolina and take care of them Panthers 34-30. Like I said, good comeback win by the Chicago Bears 27-23 over the Lions. Jaguars took down the Colts in a surprising victory. Many people got the Colts winning that division. I love Frank Wright. He's a big reason why the Eagles won the Super Bowl. He's a head coach down there. I think that division honestly is up for grabs. You know, that's just my opinion now. The Packers, everybody was thinking Aaron Rodgers was dead. Yeah, right. I never bought into that. Come on now, man. A-Rod ain't nowhere near dead, man. That man still probably got at least 3-4 more good years left in him. They took down the Vikings 43-34. Patriots with their new quarterback Cam Newton had 2 rushing touchdowns in a 21-11 win over the Dolphins. The Eagles obviously took a dump against the football team, 27-17. I don't really want to talk about that no more. There's nothing more I can say about that. They were absolute dumpster juice. Chargers went against the Bengals. This is one, you know, in the Bears and Lions game, the rookie Swift dropped a wide open touchdown pass that would have won the game. And, you know, that's unfortunate for him. But this was also a game that probably would have went the Bengals' way. They kind of had the momentum. Got them in real good field goal position. Joe Burrow, the rookie from LSU, got them in real good field position. Got down there, kicker shanks field goal. So that's that. Buccaneers and Saints, which was had the most viewers for any football game, I think in almost 2 years, it said. But the Saints took down the Buccaneers 34-23. Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions for the first time since week 16 of 2018. I still believe Brady's got something left in him. People, of course, week 1 overreactions. He sucks. He's old, blah, 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 blah. Haven't y'all learned to leave that man alone? Like, he's one of those dudes that, like, will look at that and won't sleep until he gets better. Like, he's a killer, man. I just wouldn't count the dude out just yet. Another surprising win, the Cardinals. Kyler Murray looks really good. I knew he was really talented, but I didn't think he would be this good this fast. But obviously I was wrong. Big division win for the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are actually 9-2 versus San Francisco the last 11 games. Shout out to my boy JP. I know he was happy about that, you know. But yeah. So honestly, this shouldn't. I know 49ers went to the Super Bowl, but hey, this is a division game. It's week 1. Anything can happen, and the Cardinals look pretty damn well, you know, imposed their will to win. Like, came out all, you know, hyped up and stuff. Like, you could just tell that was a different team from last year, which, you know, let's hope they can keep it going. In other news, speaking of the 49ers, my man Jerick McKinnon scores in his first game in nearly 1,000 days. McKinnon's a talented back, man. He had a season-ending injury, I believe, in camp last year. It was either in camp or preseason. But it's nice to see a comeback story like that. Big ups to Alex Smith, too, for making the team, for the football team. He didn't suit up last week, but he is their third-string quarterback, so that's good for him. It was nice to see him out there. Le'Veon Bell could miss a couple weeks due to a hamstring injury. I don't know about Le'Veon anymore, man. I think he just got overused in Pittsburgh, and it seems to be injury after injury lately. You know, it's just crazy. I figured, you know, at some point he would get back into that groove that he had with the Steelers, but hasn't been the case. My man Marlon Mack, unfortunately, is out for the season with the torn Achilles, running back for the Colts. Pretty strong running back, man. Pretty good. It's unfortunate, man. but it's a part of the game. So Gardner Minshew. I wanted to talk about Gardner. When Foles had went down there last year to Jacksonville, I thought Foles was going to take over that job. He ended up getting hurt on the first play, which is very unfortunate. But like I said, that's part of the game. Minshew said a statement. He said, I quote, "Young Jaguars got that swag about them." Interesting. Because if I remember last year, he started off doing okay and then kind of trailed off. I mean, hopefully he can improve. Anybody can improve in the offseason, man. That's what the offseason is about, improving. But not ready to buy into the young Jaguars got swag after one win. That's just absolutely insane. Sounds like some Cowboys fan shit. But top 3 passers of the week: Aaron Rodgers, 364, 4 touchdowns, no interception. Phillip Rivers, 363, 1 touchdown, but had 2 big interceptions. And Russell Wilson. Wilson's probably the performer of the week for me. 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Receiving, we had DeAndre Hopkins. Arizona required him in the offseason, of course. 151 yards, 1 touchdown. Devontae Adams, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns on my fantasy. Amari Cooper grabbed 10 catches for 81 yards, no touchdowns. Calvin Ridley was huge. Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones together, I'm pretty sure, combined for almost 300 yards receiving. That's unreal. Of course, Julio didn't get any touchdowns, but I believe Ridley got 2. So yeah, that's a deadly combination down there in Atlanta. But I don't understand. Of course, it's the first game. I know that was Russell Wilson. And I understand why you drafted a cornerback. But that doesn't look good in the very first game when you spent your first pick on a cornerback and you give up a performance like that. Your offense obviously is potent. Feel like you can hang with anybody on offense, but that defense, man. Hoo-wee! All right. Rushers, the lost art in the NFL, running the football. Christian McCaffrey had a whale of a performance as usual, man. C-Mac be doing it, bro. C-Mac is that dude. He been that dude, even when he was at Stanford, man. That's a bad boy, man. 96 yards on 23 carries. Ezekiel Elliott had 96 yards on 22 carries. And old reliable AP, Adrian Peterson, who was released by the football team a couple weeks ago, was picked up by the Lions. 14 carries, 93 yards. AD, baby, all day. Future Hall of Famer, man. Big ups to AD, man. In other news, like I was saying earlier, Saints Michael Thomas. Feel bad for him, man. High ankle injury. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'd say he's going to be out for at least 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, that's just my guess. Bruce Arians said that the loss against the Saints was round 1 of a round 16 fight, which he is right, which I'm saying that quote directly because so many people are, I keep going back to it, so many people are overreacting about week 1. Like, chill. Like, there's going to be a team that lost yesterday. And I'm not just saying this because the Eagles lost, because the Eagles won their 5 last home openers. It doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean, it means squat. It means you won your first game. That's what it means. there's going to be somebody who won yesterday that probably won't win more than 5 games. There's going to be somebody that lost yesterday, whether it looked bad or whether they kept it interesting or whatnot, that's probably going to make some noise in the playoffs. Like, people just get too happy or too mad about week 1. Everybody wants to win on week 1. It's impossible. Relax. All right. Cleveland Browns are in the news, obviously for nothing good. I just don't understand the culture in Cleveland. You know, I'm not ragging on Browns fans, but you got a good roster. I know Mayfield's a little wishy-washy, you know. I mean, but Jesus, you got a solid roster over there. And I'm not ragging on you because, again, it's just game 1, but it just seems like the culture over there is just terrible, to be quite honest. And, you know, but anyway, they're in the news because they swapped kickers. Because obviously their kicker was waived for his performance on Sunday. It wasn't very good. But Bears fans, close your ears. Close them. They signed Cody Parkey. You guys remember Cody Parkey, don't you? Because I remember Cody Parkey. Cody Parkey started off with the Eagles, and I actually just posted a picture today when I was at this game in Indy with Skip and Destiny. I saw my boy Shane Pratt there, and we took a photo, you know. That's been my guy since kindergarten. But anyway, we was at this game in Indy, and Cody Parkey kicked the game-winning field goal. It was on a Monday night for the win for the Eagles. And it was so ironic that he hooked that one. Well, he didn't hook it. It was a double doink against the Bears. But yeah, he is now the Browns' new kicker, and that's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that, the culture there is just, you couldn't get no other kicker. There wasn't no other kicker available. Come on, man. And this is why you are the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. I mean, I don't care who gets mad about it. That's just basically what it is. Okay. Now, in later weeks, it won't just be me here talking. I'm going to have some guests. I got some guests lined up. I'm going to make it so I can get feedback. Like I said, this is just kind of a test run. First show. No big deal, you know. Next week, I'm going to have a very special guest. That should be fun. But each week, I'm going to give out an award. One is good, one is bad. The bad one, I'll get that out of the way. The bad one is called the Dog Food Award. People telling me, you know, I told a couple of people I was going to do this, like, oh, incorporate Philly in this, Okay, cool. I'll incorporate Philly in this. So, the first award is the Dog Food Award. The Dog Food Award goes to the worst performance of the week. There was quite a few candidates for this. So there's going to be a co-MVP on this one this week. The candidates, first of all, I'll tell you the candidates. It was the Eagles offensive line. Swift for dropping that pass in the end zone. I know he's a rookie. DeAndre Swift from Georgia. Talented guy. I feel like he's going to do very good things in Detroit. But welcome to the NFL. You just cost your team a win. Carson Wentz. He was absolutely straight horrible. And I'm going to just keep that light. I could say a whole lot, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just keep it right there. Because I know eventually my mom watching, so I don't want to cuss too much. Grandma might be too, who knows. But those are my nominees. And the other one would be Saquon Barkley. 15 carries for 6 yards, dog. 15 carries for 6 yards. And the co-winners, surprise, surprise, are the Eagles' offensive line and Carson Wentz. Yes, you guys are absolutely horrible. It pains me to do this, but you see where I'm sitting in the bird's nest. I love y'all, but I did not love your performance. You're better than that. Get it fixed. I don't care who's out. I don't want to hear it. You're too good of a team to be doing that. And oh, by the way, Mr. Aaron Donald is coming to town. So, let's get that fixed so we can keep our quarterback upright. All right? Cool. All right. So, the positive award is called the Baller Award. Obviously, for good reasons. The Baller Award is someone who bought it on Sunday. And it just doesn't have to be a player. As a matter of fact, it's a coach. And I might not be in my best interest to say this, but we gonna keep it real in here. This is what we do in here. The Baller Award goes to Ron Rivera, and not because they were down 17-0 and came back, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Ron Rivera, he's a good coach. He's got cancer, and he had to get IVs put in him in the locker room at halftime. And reportedly, Dwayne Haskins, the quarterback for the football team, stood up and had a speech, and it was real inspiring, and obviously it worked. But for him to be doing that and still going out there coaching, and not only coaching, but to get a win like that, man, who am I going to put above him in week 1? Let's just be for real. Also, what we'll be doing on this show is an open challenge. I'm challenging anybody to come on here as a guest. I got a couple slots filled, but I'm challenging anyone to come on as a guest. Come sit right here. I got another Eagles chair for you. Whoever it is, I got another Eagles chair for you. All right. So, this is how it's going to work. Whoever challenges me each week, hopefully I get a new challenger each week. We going to go head to head on the games each week. We ain't got to wager no money. But we going to wager some pride. So this is my proposal. Anybody who comes to challenge me, the loser has to record themselves singing the song of the winner's choice. It could be any song. So I feel like with the characters I got coming on here, man, if they lose, they better watch out. All right, so to next week's games. Jacksonville at Tennessee. This is a division game. You got to kind of be careful about these, but I'm going to go with Tennessee by 4. Carolina at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's probably pissed the fuck off over that loss to Saints. Bruce Arians, he's a good play caller. Brady will get back in the groove. I feel like they will beat Carolina. Denver at Pittsburgh. Denver lost a close one. Pittsburgh kind of steamrolled over the Giants. With Connor's injury, Benny Snell, I feel like he'll be okay. I feel like the Steelers' style play call in their offensive line, I feel like he'll be okay. Steelers by 3. Rams at Philadelphia. Obviously, I'm going to take Philadelphia. But I tell you what, if they don't shore up that offensive line, the results are probably going to be worse than they were last week. Philadelphia has a history of bouncing back from games like that. Don't hit the panic button yet, Philadelphia. Even if they lose, don't hit the panic button yet. But I feel like that they're going to bounce back and win that game by 6. San Francisco at New York Jets. Gamblers, I just wanted to tell you also, you got to kind of watch these East Coast, West Coast games because of COVID. There was a lot of teams that if they were going east from the West Coast, the coaches would have them, go out there earlier in the week, get used to the time zone and all that. Well, now, and vice versa. Well, now you can't do that. So, got to kind of watch these West Coast teams traveling east and these East Coast teams traveling west. But at the end of the day, it's the Jets and it's the 49ers. So I'm going to take San Francisco. Buffalo and Miami, I'm definitely going to take Buffalo. I feel like Buffalo is a solid up-and-coming team in the AFC, especially, with Brady going down there. Not saying that New England won't still win that division. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is Buffalo's got a solid team. I'm going to take Buffalo. Minnesota at Indy. I feel like Minnesota will win that. Detroit at Green Bay. Detroit hardly ever wins at Green Bay. I think they're like 1 in 1,000 against Green Bay in Green Bay. So I'm going to take Green Bay. Atlanta at Dallas. I'm never going to pick Dallas. That's just life around here. So I'm going to go with Atlanta on that. New York at Chicago. This sucks for a pick for me because I don't like the Bears, even though they had a nice comeback win, and I definitely don't like the Giants. But I got to put my personal feelings aside, and I feel like the Bears are just better than the Giants. So I'm going to take the Bears on that one. Washington football team at Arizona are, another East Coast team traveling west, not being able to do it earlier. Arizona looked really good. I will take Arizona. Kansas City at the Chargers. I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one for obvious reasons. Like I said, that's a well-oiled machine. Well-coached oil machine, I should say. Baltimore at Houston. I'm going to take Baltimore until further notice. They look pretty darn strong. Like I said, it's week 1, and it was the Browns, but, they look like the real deal. Sunday night, New England at Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle. I like Cam. I like what they're doing down there. Or up there, I should say, up there in New England. I like what they're doing up there. I feel like Cam will get better and better and better in that offense as the season goes along. But right now it's early, and Seattle look to be hitting on all cylinders, at least on offense. Defense, you got all-world Julio, and he's going to get his money anyway, and Ridley's been progressing. So, you did give up a lot of receiving yards, but I feel like they'll get that fixed, and Seattle wins. So, there's my picks. I'm not going to do the Monday night pick just because. So, whoever challenges me for weeks to come, we can do the Monday night pick and then add the points to it. So I'm just doing Sunday games this week because it's just me and just Sunday. So I'm going to see what my record is. But that's it. That's all. So whoever want to challenge me, come on with it. There you go. Yeah. Carson, we need you to do better. Tell him, Carson, we need you to do better. Yeah. We'll cue that music. Remember, Eagles, don't get this award again. Don't do it. Don't do it.